The following contains strong language, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
The following presentation is brought to you by the Realm Network.
What's first, Mac?
Well, we got a surprise for you, sir. Some old favorites making a return appearance.
Do I get a hint?
Well, let me see. The squad car that took him to the police station was destroyed by a bolt of lightning.
You mean...
Hello, it's us.
Bob and June Wheeler, you Yugoslavian recidivist knuckleheads, you. What the heck brings you by?
They were picked up on a 509B violation, sir.
509?
Uh-huh.
B?
Yeah.
I don't believe I'm familiar with that one.
Well, sir, it's not used in Manhattan very much. It involves the illegal detonation of poultry.
Excuse me, but I didn't think the chickens were among our more widely used explosives.
Sir, the Wheelers were merely trying their hand at egg farming. They ran into a bit of difficulty with a propane-powered incubator.
So all the would-be chicks are now...
Quiche, yes, sir. It seems as though Darla and Alfalfa here got an incubator with a faulty shutoff valve.
It was a nightmare. This god-awful smell of meringue, blood-curdling peeping.
The irony of it all is that we got into chickens because of our difficulties in running a worm farm.
Oh, there's a picture. You two hunched over a big vat of pink, juicy wigglers.
We were seduced by the glamour of it all.
Loser, man. You're a loser. Playoffs.
It's the Mark and Lowell Show.
The Mark and who?
Starring the meteorologist who does it for the viewers.
Smoke!
Lowell Meltzer.
Can you get out of here?
And the man who rides the coattails of his friends and family, Mark Ronick.
Hey guys, it's enough with the amplifier.
And now, here they are. Radio's equivalent of a dial-up connection.
Hello, boys.
Mark and Lowell.
Hello and welcome, everybody, to the Mark and Lowell Show. I am your host, Mark Ronick, and here with me, as always, my co-host, Lowell Meltzer. Hello, Lowell.
Hello, what's cooking?
What's cooking? What are you looking at there?
Nothing, I was just moving this thing out of the way here. So.
Oh, I thought something really caught your attention there. You looked very distracted for a moment.
Turding out.
And let's welcome in everybody else. We've got Lisa Runyon. Hello, Lisa.
Hello, boys.
And we've got... See, now, usually I go in a certain order based on number of recent appearances. So I guess I would have to go to Jonah next. So let's welcome in Jonah Berger. Hello, Jonah.
Say, brothers, what's happening?
And Lowell, I'm going to warn you because you haven't had enough time yet pre-show with Jonah. His connection has not been so good.
Yeah, I can tell by the overmodulation that it's been a little rough.
Yeah, so we'll see. It'll be touch and go.
Touch and go.
And then let's welcome in. It's the birthday boy. It's Dan Binstock. Hello, Dan.
Yellow.
Dan, turning, can I say your age, Dan?
Of course.
Turning 45.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That feels like literally the halfway marker of life.
That's more than half for a lot.
Yeah, I was just going to say, more than half, champ. If you're lucky, it's half. Right, yeah. My mind went there the second I said halfway. I immediately realized that might be a little aggressive thinking. I think anything after 80 is icing on my cake. Anything after 80.
Hey, this is a nice, exciting, happy, not a downer episode at all.
No way.
It's happy for everyone.
And if artificial intelligence takes over the planet in 10 years, none of us will be living that long. Well.
Jesus. So morbid.
I've got a hangnail. You want to talk about that?
And with that, hey, this episode brought to you by PlayPod. The best cross-platform podcast app for iOS and Android. Just visit playapod.com. That's PLAYAPOD.com and download for free. It's actually very cool. I've just started using it, and it's extremely user-friendly. Much better than the Apple one that I normally go to.
What's better about it?
It's much more user-friendly to me. I can find what I need when I need it. It gives me suggestions. I know exactly where to go to find the ones that I've subscribed to. It's very intuitive. Check it out. You'll like it.
I like it already.
I'll just tease to all of you guys, but I do want to have some things for you, Lowell.
Let's play Who's Gonna Be the Flower Girl? Beep, 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 beep.
No games, but there will be some ball busting because I got an evening out with Dan and his lovely wife, Robin. Amy and I went out with them a couple of nights ago. He took us to a show for our engagement.
Oh, what show?
Well, I'll get to that, but I want to ask you first, Lowell. Two things I have for you. First,
why don't we all talk about what we all got Mark and Amy for their engagement? My respect.
Oh, are we supposed to get them something for their engagement?
Lowell, you were one of our first gifts that we received.
Oh, right.
No, you were. You and Allie, you sent us.
Yeah, I know. We sent you the cupcakes, and yeah,
you were, and I think you might have been the first.
Oh yeah, right. She.
So there you go. No, I want to ask: are you geared up and ready to go to California with Reed? Just a boys' trip, I hear.
Yes, we are ready to go. It's going to be very exciting.
When are you going?
Tuesday to Saturday. We're going to go out to California, visit Jamie and Josh and their cousins, Lenny, Simon, and Babe.
Nice.
We were Allie was gonna go, but with Sloan and everything, but we decided, why don't I just go this time and then let Sloan get one more year older, and then
maybe make it a family trip.
We'll start doing more trips, right? So,
are you nervous at all? Have you done this before
with just me and Reed?
Yeah,
right.
Not on a cross-country flight. No
break.
Yeah.
Are you going to sit down on the airplane and just go, so what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, with Reed. Yeah. No, I have loaded up his iPad with tons of movies and shows and everything like that. So hopefully he'll be good with that. We went to Five Below and we got him some special Paw Patrol earphones.
Nice.
That he was real excited about.
The 9-inch babysitter.
Yeah, the 9-inch babysitter.
Yep.
Exactly.
You know it, baby.
Yeah, so he'll be, he's flown a lot, actually. For a kid his age, he has flown a lot. And he's been to California before, but he was only 15 months, 16 months.
Right. No, what he knows is like a 3-hour trip to Florida.
Or if that. That's
trip.
Yeah, that's why I'm worried, because flying out to California can be like 5 hours. So I'm just hoping, he can keep it together.
What time of day is your flight?
It's good. It's like 12:30 in the afternoon. Get into California like around 4:30.
Yeah.
You'll get in at 4:30, assuming an engine doesn't fly through the window.
Yeah, through the window.
Give all piss.
But I know, believe me, the thought crossed my mind, but I was like, you know what? Southwest is probably the safest airline right now.
Oh, yeah. They're not flying anything that's iffy right now.
Best time to fly after something happens.
Right after a crash, right?
Yeah, and as much as we joke, we should,
No, it's... Yeah. We'll delete that.
No, we're not going to delete it, Dan.
Not deleted.
We'll let it go for your birthday.
Yeah.
It was a nervous laugh.
Yeah, yeah. No, but speaking of that, I mean, we don't need to get all more depressing, but that could have been so much worse.
So much worse.
Credit the pilot for getting that thing
100%.
down, right?
Yes,
yeah.
No doubt.
She's a badass. She's always been a badass. She's one of the first crazy pilots for the Army or Navy.
Yeah, Navy.
Did you guys see the video of people on the flight when it was in the process of landing?
No.
So everyone's just sitting there. I've never seen a video where the actual oxygen masks.
Oh, true.
And
Yeah.
everyone's just sitting there, kind of the plane is...
Well, you see them in the fake videos that they show at the beginning where, the actors and everybody's just smiling and happy.
Yeah, perfectly calm.
Putting on
Everyone was just sitting there staring ahead, and you can hear this loud whooshing sound, and you could tell everyone was completely freaked out.
Of course.
But no one was
they were wearing their
hysterical. No one
masks.
was jumping around or anything. Everyone was just sitting there.
Well, because you don't know what's going to happen. Once one little explosion happens on a plane, you're like, is the whole thing about to blow? I think it must be shock.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was another thing. It seemed like people just didn't know what to do.
No.
It's nobody pays attention. I've flown enough, and I think we all pretty much have. I mean, I've seen enough presentations of it that it doesn't seem that hard. It's like you take the thing and you put it over your mouth and pull on the elastic strap and pull the thing down. And they say help yourself first before kids.
I feel like I could put the mask on with no problem.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like I could too. But, when you're in that panic situation, it's like, whatever. But,
exactly.
They lost cabin pressure because the hole in the window. And so now, you need some oxygen. But they dropped altitude pretty fast, though, to where they wouldn't need the oxygen anymore. They dropped to like 10,000 feet. You don't need it at 10,000 feet.
That's what one of the things they said the pilot did the best.
Yeah, she got down quickly. But that's got to even be scarier for the passengers.
Yeah.
They say that it can be literally 2 or 3 seconds at certain altitudes that you will black out.
Oh, yeah.
So if you haven't helped your kid yet, your kid's fucked too. Like, that's why they're saying, be okay and then monitor your kid.
Yeah, but that's what I was going to say, Lowell, is God forbid, you're in that situation in California.
Mm-hmm.
I know as a dad, if I'm in your shoes, the first thing I'm going to do is I want to go to help Reed first.
Of course.
Right. Yeah, you want to help your kid first. Right.
Yeah.
Right. But no, I was just thinking, we've all been on a flight where, like, you hit turbulence and you get, like, that good jolt, like where the plane kind of free falls a little bit, like whoa, what was that? And like maybe it went down maybe like 1,000 feet altitude or 2,000, like it was like a good jolt.
Yeah.
And I'm just imagining dropping from like 30,000 to 10,000 in a matter of seconds. What that must have been. You probably thought it was over.
I was flying once from Toronto, and there was so much turbulence. There was red wine all over the plane. Like everyone was
spilling everything.
And the stewardess was in the back crying, and that's when I was really scared that something serious was going to happen.
Right.
And do you all ever think about if you had 3 minutes and you knew it's 3 minutes and then it's crash time? What would you do in that last 3 minutes?
Yeah.
Hey, you know what I say?
Yeah, this is becoming really depressing. Let's move on.
Morbid Birthday.
Yeah. A morbid birthday to you, Dan. Thank you for the show title.
Another birthday, another inch closer to the grave.
I mean, I was really looking forward to coming in and laughing a lot on this episode in particular.
You never know what happens when you get in the room.
No, that is true. That is
never
true.
know what happens.
All right. Well, then let me tell you this. Oh, wait.
What?
Lowell, if we have time, I want to hear about you have a cell phone repair story.
I mean, I could tell it real fast. It might just take 5 minutes. It might pique a little of your interest.
Okay.
All right. So this past Sunday, I went outside and I did some yard work. I came into the garage to put everything away, and the floor of the garage is concrete. I've dropped my phone 1,000,000 times.
Really? You're one of those.
And it's never broken. Yeah, and I have a decent case on it. This drop landed perfectly so the screen hit the concrete square. And I knew as soon as it hit, I knew it. When you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
You just, I was praying. I was like, please, just let it not have broken. Please.
Yeah, right.
Please.
And maybe like a little slow turn when you're picking it up.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Is it gonna be?
As soon as I picked it up and looked at it, it looked like somebody took a sledgehammer to it. Pieces of glass were falling out of the screen. That's how bad of a fall it was.
Oh, that's terrible.
Not usable at all. At all.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, oh my God.
And you've just been singing the praises about not needing a new phone.
Right. So there is a place that fixes them a couple miles from my house.
Sure.
And I look online, and they share it with like a one of these mobile stores.
Okay.
So, but when you call the line, it's like you don't get the store. You get like, this is Cricket Mobile or whatever, So it's like, forget it. It says they're open. I'll open. I drive there. Closed. Closed. Now it's 4:00 in the afternoon on a Sunday. I noticed in my Google search when I looked, phone repair near you, this ad came up for this company called Puls. It's Puls.
Okay.
Puls.com. This is a shameless shill.
Okay.
We should get them to be a sponsor.
All right.
It is the Uber of cell phone repair.
Come on.
Oh, my God.
Hey.
That's brilliant.
iPhone screen repair and in-home services at your door.
Wow.
They do fixing your phones, TV mounting, screen repair, battery repair, all the stuff for your phone, right?
Okay.
So then I looked it up on Yelp, and it had it had like 5-star reviews. Can't believe it. They came here, fixed it, 15 minutes, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, there's no way they're going to do this on a Sunday, right?
Right.
I go to the website. I say I need my phone fixed, and it's like, sure, we can have a tech to you in 1 hour. And I'm like, on a Sunday? They're like, yep, it's $99 to repair the screen, a whole thing, $99.
Wow.
So just like an Uber, I put in my address, I put in what kind of phone I have, what color it is, put all this stuff in. I'm still skeptical at this point.
Yeah, right.
I put all the stuff in, and then I get a text, and it says, all right, we're looking for a tech for you now. And then it says, your tech, so-and-so, will be at your location by 5:08 p.m. And I'm like,
wow.
For real?
Wow.
So now I'm getting excited. And I tell
hey,
Allie, you're not going to believe this.
Guess what? I found the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, right. I was going nuts. I was like, this is the best. So sure enough, this guy rolls up, and he's got his case full of iPhone screens and tools and everything, comes in the house, sits down at the kitchen table, takes my phone, 15 minutes, changes the screen out. We're talking. I'm asking him like a million questions.
Right.
What is this? I've never heard of this before. He's like, yeah, man, it's new. I'm like, so you're just like an Uber. He's like, yeah, man, I get a ping on my phone. If I want to do it, great. If not, then, one of the other techs will do it. So I was like, this is amazing. Yeah, he fixes my phone, does it up, takes my credit card, swipe, out the door, bam, new screen in like 15 minutes
awesome.
On a Sunday.
Now, you know what? You could theoretically be that guy and be an Uber driver at the same time and really make some bank.
Yeah, if you know how to do the scripts.
Is it hard to learn?
I've seen some videos how to do it. And I watched him do it. It's kind of tedious because there's all those little tiny screws that you have to get out. And then you have to know like what to disconnect in the phone. I mean, he seemed like he'd done a million of these. Like,
I'm sure he probably has.
And also there's like a glue sheet that has to be laid down in there properly. And I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
A lot of drama.
Yeah, that would stress me out.
Yeah, that's a little too much for me.
Watching it stresses me out.
Yeah.
Screw that.
Yeah, like I didn't want to be all up in his shit.
Right.
It was one of those things where I'd walk by. I had some work to do anyway, so I was doing some work, and then I'd stop, and then I'd go sit with him for like a minute, and I'd be like, talk to him, and he didn't mind me talking to him, and then I got up because I didn't want to make him nervous.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like when you first have this experience of like a new thing that you've never had before, it's exciting, man.
Yeah.
You want to like share the moment with the professional.
And I have to tell you, it was the greatest thing. I didn't have to go anywhere. I didn't have to I was waiting in my own home for this guy to and Allie was even saying, she's like, this is so like big city. This is like something would be in New York or something.
Right.
True.
I was like, yeah. And I said, yeah, and we're in Carroll County, Maryland, and he came out here.
Carroll County?
Right.
At first when you said it, my first thought was, well, that's never going to last. But then I think a little bit more about it. People are constantly breaking their phone.
Right. Constantly.
Yeah.
And that's the worst.
And even worse, if you're not in your hometown or, you're in a strange place, you could still technically rely on this, and they'll just send somebody out within an hour and fix it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do the iPhone screens. They do computer screens.
Wow.
They had a thing, too. It was like an upsell in the thing. It was like, your phone also might need a new battery. Would you like for an extra $49 to have him change the battery as long as he's changing the screen? And I was like, I almost said yes because
Yeah.
But then I said, nah, I'll just do the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Now that you know about the service, the next time you might consider that if there's a next time.
Well, yeah. Hopefully there isn't a next time.
Right.
But I told the guy, I'm like, I am going to sing your praises because this was the greatest thing ever.
That's a brilliant idea.
Mm-hmm.
It was just awesome. And they're everywhere. It's puls.com.
PUE?
PUE. Yeah. Yeah. PULS.
Okay.
Highly recommend. That gets my seal of approval. So
wow.
You're into.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's what Mark and Lowell are into this week.
Maybe we should ask them if they want to advertise.
Well, geez, I think after that, we did just advertise for them.
I know.
But you know what? I love when there are nice transitions because let's go from a new Uber type of service to one that's a little more familiar, AirBNB.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jonah.
The Airbnb-ing is back.
Uh-oh.
It stopped?
Wait, it stopped?
No, it didn't stop. We were just on a dry spell.
Oh, it dried up.
Oh, okay.
So let me set the table.
Yeah, okay.
So for new listeners, Jonah is an Airbnb host. And he had a very successful summer, right?
Extremely successful.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, just nobody was booking anymore. But you had good reviews and everything was fine, just nobody was booking.
But isn't it like a bad time of year? Or do people come up there, to ski? Would they stay at your place to ski?
Yeah, it's just timing of the year. I think in the wintertime, everyone's coming to Colorado to go to the mountains.
Okay, so now you just got a couple of new guests lately. Oh.
Oh my God. This is so bad. Mark was frozen. Mark was frozen for a full 30 seconds, and then the whole thing caught up. He was like.
Meanwhile, I wish we could give the visual to everybody, but Lowell was purposefully being frozen on the screen.
No, of course.
Yeah, to just add insult to injury.
It was time of year that made for the dry spell. It was time of year.
Okay, so tell us about your new guests.
We're on a roll right now. We've had like 3 or 4 guests, and last week we had an 8-day guest from Virginia, a doctor and a nurse. And they were dream because it was his grandmother's 80th, and their family lived right up the road from us. So they booked us just to be close and have a place to crash, but they spent all of their time out of the house. It was heaven. We made $450 last week for doing nothing. The easiest guess in history. Well, then I got to talk a little quiet just in case.
Oh, they might still be there?
Our new guests arrived the other day. I get the thing. They booked us from Tuesday to Saturday. And I get the original booking message, and it says, "My father and I would like to stay at your house because I'm recovering from poor health."
Oh, no.
And I said, all right. And his profile picture was a little weird. I just didn't have the best feeling.
Now, by weird, hold on. What do you mean by a weird profile picture?
He has one of those hairdos that's like, he's got like kind of wavy hair, and it's like medium length. You could tell he's like a 70s hard rock fan, but a computer dork as well, you know. And just kind of had that has like a face of like a slightly weird looking dude. Yeah, a little bit, but like weird and not cool. You know what I mean? So anyway, he walks in the other day. I welcome them. I'm home on the Tuesday afternoon when they arrive.
Yeah.
And he walks in the back door. I give them their code. I plug their code into our code entry, and they walk in. So I walk over to greet them. And he's got the pee bag hanging out of his pants full of pee.
So he hadn't changed it yet.
No. And I was like, hi. How are you? Welcome to the old home place.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little awkward.
Just a little weird, but whatever. I like gave them the tour. The father is like the nicest guy on the planet.
Sure.
I think he's a pastor. Like, they're just the nicest guys. Even weird dude. It was really nice.
Isn't it funny? Every story Jonah has about somebody, it always ends up that they're a pastor.
Right.
Oh, I know.
Traveling pastor.
Did you earlier somebody else?
Yeah.
I was telling my financial planner this morning about my last 4 datings, including my sweet wife. We're pastor's daughter, youth pastor, pastor's daughter. Christ is calling a brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess
you might need to convert.
Yeah, moving on. So anyway, that's that. And we have a fine Tuesday. We have a pretty easy Wednesday early morning. And somewhere around 10, maybe 10:15, I start smelling doot.
Oh, no.
I mean,
Oh, no.
And after a while, I'm like looking around. I'm like, Banjo, did you poo? And I'm not seeing anything. And it's like undeniable. It's not like, ooh, I got a whiff. It's like a consistent whiff.
It's a lingering odor.
Yes, thank you, Lisa.
Throughout the living room.
Oh, no.
Which is down the hall from where the guest bathroom is. So whatever, I was just letting it ride. I was like, this
and
is
let's
weird.
also say that the living room is blocked off. You don't have that open for your guests.
No, but it's blocked off by a 7-foot thing, and the ceiling is 10 feet. So
right, okay.
Air is still, it's not airtight.
So I'm picturing the green smoke going over
the haze, like a
and
cloud.
then turning into
grabbing
a hand.
Jonah's nose.
Yes, turning into a hand and
like
grabbing
this,
his nose.
like this, upside down with the hand upside down, the fingers hooking into the nostrils.
And Jonah's like drifting off his feet.
All right, so I leave at 12:30, and I'm like, all right, that's gross. And the whole day I'm out, and I come home, and Megan calls me when I'm on my way home at 7:30 p.m. She says, I'm almost home from work too. And I was like, well, let's go out to dinner. So as I'm walking in, I get there before her. I was like, ooh, should I tell her now? Like, because she's all nervous because her family's coming next week to stay with us. Her whole family is staying with us. So I was like, no, don't say nothing. And I walk in, and it is like, I mean, a wall of stank poo.
Oh, no.
Dude, poo stank. Like a hospital room, but like worse.
Ooh. No.
Really bad. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? So then Megan comes home. She gets changed super quick, and we leave. And as we're driving to this restaurant to have dinner, I go, look, I don't want to freak you out, but I kind of smelled poo in the house. And she goes, I smelled it too. And I was like, yeah, well, what do you think? And she goes, oh, I'm sure he was just using the bathroom. I was like, Megan, no. I smelled poo all morning.
Yeah.
That's not like I just used the bathroom. That fades.
Right.
Yeah.
That's poo is present kind of.
All right, so let's jump ahead here because we got some other things. But seriously,
what happened?
No, so we come home after dinner, and it stinks. I mean, really bad throughout the middle part of the house, and I got pissed. I was like, we went into our room and closed the door, and I said, Megan, I'm thinking about saying something. Like, I at least want to text him and be like, look, I smell poo. What's going on? I said,
yeah.
But I looked at her and I said, what's the protocol? Am I allowed to just like text? And she goes, no, you can't text him. And I said, this is my house. I sure as fuck shit can text him.
Yeah, because don't they, if they shit all over the room, wouldn't you charge them an extra charge or something?
Yeah, of course we would. But we also have to be sensitive to his medical needs.
Right.
Yeah.
Like she said, they're renting the place. They have the right to do what they want as long as they're not causing any major problems. But I was like, poo stink is a major problem. Long story short.
Yeah.
We come out this morning, and it smelled fine.
All right.
The stank had gone away.
Cooking a plate of excrement.
No, oh, God.
Excrement.
I think he probably has diapers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like had the used diapers in the house and finally like took them out or realized there was a trash can outside.
Right.
Ooh, we.
Yeah. Ooh.
All right, here's how we're going to transition.
Yeah.
Dan, play me a song. You should know what I mean just by that cue. Just play me a song having to do with our, there you go, with our night out on the town. And I want to make sure you guys are all recording because I really don't want to lose this if for some reason our...
Hold on, let me make sure.
Everybody's still recording?
Yeah, I'm still recording.
Yes, I'm recording.
Okay, so Dan's playing wonderfully here, and I don't want to ruin that, but...
I know what that is.
So Dan took Amy and I and Robin to see David Foster.
It's a little loud. I can't hear you.
Well, let me turn him down a little. Can you hear? Here,
I didn't know we could turn him down. Come on.
Yeah, the music was a little loud.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, so anyway, so he took us to an intimate evening with David Foster. Now, the question is, do you guys know who David Foster is?
He's like a piano player.
Did he do the music for those movies?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Okay.
Now, I will admit, I also didn't realize who David Foster was until Dan invited me to this evening.
Okay.
And I will preface by saying and Amy, we were blown away. Okay. This man has written so many hits, especially from our era growing up, 80s, 90s, but even into this day, he's written some major hits for major artists. So Dan, give us another one. That one was obviously from St. Elmo's Fire.
St. Elmo's.
He wrote all of that movie, right? Oh, and this one, of course.
I love this song.
Tonight it's very clear. The chappie is lying here.
Give us another one, Dan.
Chappie's flying here.
Ooh, really?
I will make it up to you. I'll make it to you.
Here it comes,
the
ready?
Chicago stuff.
Beep, 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 beep.
Everybody needs a little battery. A battery.
So here's
it's hard for me to see. I'm sorry.
All right, so.
All right, okay.
You get the idea. This
Yeah, I
man,
get the idea.
and we're not even doing him justice. I mean, he's written for Whitney Houston. He's written for Earth, Wind, and Fire, Celine Dion. I mean, this man is a true music genius.
That must have been fun.
It was unbelievable. And he's, obviously his piano playing is amazing. And I will say what I learned the most that evening, Dan is the equivalent of, yeah, Adam!
Oh, yeah.
Adam! Which it was Jonah when we went to a Counting Crows concert. Jonah's love for Adam Duritz of the Counting Crows. He was screaming for him like a little girl.
Yeah, it's unrestrained.
Oh, yeah, because you've never done that. Yeah, God knows you don't have that for any popping. No, none of that. No quivering like a little girl standing 5 feet from him when you could have met him, but didn't walk up to him because you was quivering. Settle down a little bit there, pal. Just a smidge. Jonah, that's John Popper right there. That's him.
Yeah.
That's fucking him right there.
Him.
Go talk to him. No. That's him. That's him right there.
Hey, Mark.
There he is. Yeah.
That's true. I will not deny that.
I rubbed Adam Duritz's leg. I did rub his leg. I'll admit that. I did. I touched his arm. No, it was his arm. He reached his arm out to shake hands, and I started rubbing his sleeve.
Yeah, and not letting go of his hand.
Security.
All right, settle down.
Lowell, am I right?
Yes, not let go.
He would not let go of his hand.
I'm disabled. My fingers are curly. There's nothing I can do about that. But thanks for making fun of it. Appreciate that.
So anyway, yes, he invited us as an engagement gift. Although later we find out that, yeah, we're all going together, but we're not sitting together. This is like a couple days later. It's like, yeah, you're coming, but yeah, sorry, we're not sitting with you. And I'm like, wait, why?
You're going to be in
is
section
that?
XP.
Because we have better seats.
But, well, yes, but I think there's more to it.
The way it happened was I bought 2 seats first for just me and Robin.
Right.
And then I realized on that side, I can't see the keyboard. So then I bought a second pair in the front row on the balcony so that I could look down and see the keys, because there are still some things that he plays that I can't figure out how he does it. So I want to see him live.
He wants a bird's eye view.
Bird's eye view.
And where was this again?
This was at the Warner Theater in
downtown.
DC.
Warner Theater. Okay.
And then I decided, fuck it, it's the show. And this was after I ended up getting backstage meet and greet passes.
He got meet and greet passes, too.
Nice.
I bought front row seats. And so we had, I gave the original seats to Mark and Amy as, I didn't buy them with the intention of it being a present for Mark and Amy, but we had extra seats. I was like, oh, this would be fun.
Good opportunity.
Yeah, nice thing to do.
Yes.
That's thoughtful.
And then we gave away 2 other tickets that I had in the balcony.
So basically, you got 3 sets of tickets because you kept trying to get better seats.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, got it.
And then I ended up not even using the front row seats because they were too close.
So what I did find out, yes, he got this meet and greet, which he did invite us, but we couldn't get there in time.
Right.
But he went with Robin. And what I found out from Robin was that this was not the first time that Dan has met David Foster. There was a while back he went, and apparently it was
a very bad experience.
A big fail.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Well, so we went to Las Vegas when Robin was about 7 months pregnant, because this was his first time doing a concert. So, of course, this has been, my childhood idol since I was, literally idolized the guy's music.
Right.
So when he was performing in Vegas, it was just a no-brainer. Afterwards, we snuck into this party that was just for all the performers. So it was like Michael Bublé, Catherine McPhee, a bunch of other performers.
You snuck into the party?
Yeah, we snuck in.
Just snuck in?
Because
nobody had credentials or anything?
No, you did, but I knew who his manager was, and I kind of shook his hand right when the security guard... Well, I was like, "Hey, Brian," and he's like, "Hey, how you doing?" And then the guard just let us in, and so,
wow.
What I've put Robin through in terms of my quests to meet David Foster, there's a lot more. So,
what happened? Why was it a fail?
It was a fail because I went up to him and I shook his hand. I was like, "Hi." He's like, "Hey, great to see you." He had no idea who I was.
Right, sure.
And then I started just babbling like an idiot. I was like, "I just want to let you know, like, I came out from Washington, D.C., and I've been like," and he just looks at me and he goes, "That's scary."
Wow.
Oh,
no.
What?
Yeah. And he was joking. He's got a dry sense of humor, but And then I just like, can we take a picture? And he said, sure. So we took a picture. And right afterwards, Robin looks at me and just goes, I'm so sorry. And 'cause she knew I was just completely
So
devastated.
So to save us some time, I will
Because you were
tell you
supposed
guys.
to become like best friends or something.
Yeah, we were supposed to become
kind of
BFF.
like Popper and Mark when he went VIP.
Yes,
he was going to watch your wedding
Jonah,
video
there
and
he
know
is.
you didn't
Right.
actually have.
He's right there.
So here's what happened. He ended up writing a letter to David Foster and personally handing this letter to David Foster.
Oh, no.
And he was kind enough to share that letter with me.
Oh, no.
No, he was dumb enough.
Now, I'm not going to read it because there are other parts of this story I want to get to. But what I will say, a couple of things about the letter. I did read it and I highlighted some points. But I will tell you the first thing that was very striking to me was at the end of the first paragraph. I'm sorry, at the end of the second paragraph, Dan says, I'll make this brief. Okay? I say this because it goes on for almost 10 paragraphs.
Oh my
It is
God.
almost 2 pages long.
Oh, my God.
Well, it's brief relatively compared to what I'd really want to say.
Right. I think if this...
To me, that was very brief.
Yeah, this could have been probably a good 10 pages.
Could have been 10 pages.
I mean, he was gushing in this letter like a schoolgirl. Now, but I will say, I told him this after I read it. I felt his passion. I could feel it.
Mm-hmm.
I respect it. It's just hysterical that it's coming from a 45-year-old man.
Right.
Yeah, you really become like a kid again.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And really fucked up.
And see, you guys have to understand that this whole thing, I'm kind of learning it piece by piece throughout like a 3 to 4 hour span. But the first thing, I saw it right away when I first saw Dan. There was this childlike sparkle in his eyes as the concert is getting closer and closer to start. And I didn't realize just how big of a fan he was, right? But again, after seeing that show, I told Dan this yesterday. After seeing that show, I'm ready to go to the next one. That's how amazing it was.
Right.
And
You would travel to it.
I would. I really would go see more of this. Now, I will say about David Foster, as amazing and talented and as in awe of his talent as I am, it was one of the most self-indulgent shows I've ever seen in my life.
Well, because it's like, this is, I am the greatest.
Here's the other top hit that I wrote.
After the 5th time, it's like, did I mention that I've won countless Grammys? You know, at one point he stopped the show and just played us a whole video about his life for 5 minutes, just in the middle of the show. But here's the thing: I was entertained, so I can't. You know, it's hard to knock it at the same time. It was just something I noticed. It was an observation. It was definitely an intimate evening with David Foster for sure. Now, the encore, he comes out for an encore at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And get this.
Well, during the meet and greet, I asked him if he was going to be playing a song, and he said, do you want me to play it? And I said, I would love that because it's my favorite song of his.
Yes. So, believe it or not only does he play it for the encore, but he mentions Dan.
This particular piece was for a movie called The Secret of My Success with Michael J. Fox, and somebody in the meet and greet asked me about this song. I think it might have been Dan.
Woo!
And so, it was Dan.
You're the best!
Anyway,
Oh, boy.
Michael J. Fox and Helen.
I love you, Adam!
Yeah, Adam!
You're the best.
Well, you know...
Did you isolate that?
Woo! You're the best! Woo! You're the best! Woo! You're the best!
It's so nice to not be on the receiving end.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Now, and what's funny is afterward we were talking about this moment and we were saying how, because Dan was so excited about it, we called out the whole.
Woo! You're the best!
And what did you say? You said the second
The second that came out of my mouth, I was just I wanted to rewind. Here's the reason.
Wait, did you want it like this? Was kind of what went through your head?
Yeah, it was unbridled, just 7-year-old screaming.
Woo! You're the best!
like how fucking ridiculous is that? Like
you were so excited.
You were excited.
Yeah, it's
you were
not
excited.
ridiculous at all, Dan.
No,
It's
exactly.
It's obviously like excitement and like admiration and I think it's really cool. I would not look at you're like, especially when Mark just keeps playing it. You're the best. You're the best. Like then I think you're fine.
Did you know
I think
that?
You're fine.
So also, what's the song from Karate Kid 2 that David Foster wrote that he was up for
Man in Motion?
Emmy? Karate Kid 2.
No, not from. Glory of Love.
Yes. Right? You know this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, here's something that I found out. This is not a David Foster song, but a coincidence maybe from the first Karate Kid. Did you guys know that Dan did vocals from a song that appeared in the first Karate Kid? Here it is.
You're the best. You're the best.
Well done.
You're the best.
Oh my God, that is awesome. Excellent. That was
Wow,
excellent.
some production value and everything.
Mark, over the top. Over the top.
Over the top. I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
Oh my God, that is
I have
golden.
to say, I am impressed.
That's
Man,
golden.
Let me tell you, and then even at the end,
after the show was
right,
the worst.
Show's over. Now Dan, remember, he's met David Foster. David Foster calls Dan out on stage. It's like the ultimate. He's done everything he needs to do.
Dream come true.
Right?
Then I have to fuck it up.
Then
he fucked it up.
Dan won't leave.
Oh man. He wouldn't leave?
The place had basically cleared out. 95%, maybe 98%.
Why didn't you cane him out of there?
Because he was supposed to have a meet and he was supposed to have when I got to the place, they said you've got a special kind of ticket that allows you to have a private backstage
Special
sit-down
pass.
special thing. And so I was not sure if they were confused and I was supposed to get a second one, or, like it's me again, or whether he was truly leaving on a plane like they said. But I go to a
Why would you be getting a second one?
So that's the whole thing. So Dan's like, I know there's the second one.
And there are people still hanging around there.
And there are some people hanging by the stage, all the other fanboy freaks that are just dying to, I don't know what they
Were
want
you
to
like,
do with
yeah,
it.
I'm Dan.
So Dan instantly, look, at first I'm like, you know what? I was feeling his passion and excitement, so I was going to go with it for a little bit. So I walked up with him. He's like, come on, let's go to this front of the stage. He's like, don't worry about it. And Robin's like, Dan, I think we've had enough. I think
Yeah.
And Dan's like, no, don't worry about it.
It's getting weird
It's
now.
getting weird, Dan.
Yeah.
And she's looking at me like, you have no idea, Mark. You have no
I've got
idea.
like the beady eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Like
so
you're
he
fiending.
almost he could have might as well
Walked
have
on the stage.
grabbed my arm and pulled me across to get to the stage with him, and then
Pulled your arm out of your socket.
and he's talking now to the stage manager, from the ground. The stage manager is up on the stage, and he's yelling up to him. He's like, "Can you just see if here's my VIP? Can you just see if I can go in?"
Oh my God.
Actually, first he said, "Will you see if he'll come out just once more, just to say hi?"
I want to thank him. How great!
I wanna thank
Yeah,
him.
he fucking needs to hear
somehow
thank you from me.
The stage manager's like, all right, I'll go check, and he goes back for a minute or two.
No, he went back for 10. I think he literally went back behind the stage
Counted to 10.
counted to 10 and came
Turned
back
around
and was
and
just
came
like,
back.
no, sorry, well,
Yeah.
So the guy comes back out and he's like, nah, I'm sorry, man, he's not coming out. And Dan's like, okay, what about the VIP thing? Can I join? Can I come again?
It just started. The wheel started falling.
And
off
the guy
bus.
was like, the guy's like, nah, sorry. And Dan's like, all right, well, listen, make sure he reads my letter. I'm not kidding you. I'm not making this up. Make sure he reads my letter. And also, don't forget to tell him.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, he's in love with David Foster.
Wow.
So afterwards, I'm like, all right, well, I wonder if he read the letter, and I'm wondering, so I'm like, I'm sure he'll write a quick note saying, thanks for your letter. It was really meaningful. Nothing.
Oh, you were actually hoping he'd get back to you?
when you meet
That was what I was going to ask you. What are you hoping for? Deep down, be very honest.
I'm hoping to be best friends with him.
Yes, that's what you're hoping for, right? When you wrote him that letter.
What I want him to do is, you know what? I want you to come out to L.A. and I want to hear you play music, and I want to hear what you've done, and I want to hear you want to be best friends with your hero.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
the bottom line. It's so fucking crazy, but you want to be best friends with whoever your hero is.
I get it.
That's really if I'm being honest, what the insanity side of me was like, oh yeah, he'll like write me, but not that I would like write back. I guess what I wanted was an acknowledgement that
yeah.
I would almost bet, and I mean, I hate to burst your bubble with this, but I would almost bet they probably never even read the letter. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because like I can only I'm not trying to be mean. I just feel like how much if this guy is as amazing and all these songs are from him. And
everyone's always constantly.
So I'm sure gets a barrage of this.
Tons.
And once you go on as a teacher, I can tell you this: when I look at a paper sometimes and it goes on to page 2. I'm a little bit like, fuck.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's the thing.
And I put like, I created a footer that made it look like it's a natural footer in my letters, but it was just, sort of like, let me remind him what my email address is.
Yeah.
And so
on the off chance he'll email you.
Exactly.
Are you a stalker, Dan?
I've never stalked anyone.
You're very close. I'm telling you.
This is the closest I've
You're
come.
dangerously close.
Yeah.
No, wait. I'm sorry to interrupt you real quick, Dan. I think we may have lost Jonah pretty much. Is that?
Yeah.
Can he even hear us?
I don't think he can.
Jonah? No, I can't.
Good.
All right,
We'll cut this whole part out.
It was good having Jonah.
Yeah.
No, in all seriousness, it was an amazing experience. Now, it was really cool that I got to meet him and actually, in a good circumstance. And it's one of those bucket list things in your life that's just a cool experience.
Well, and he wasn't there to see the end part of it when you were trying so hard to get to see him again. So you didn't really.
It was
you're
all excited over the show. And you're just like adrenaline's flowing. So.
You're the best.
Being hopeful for one last chance.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is going to do it for the Mark and Lowell Show. Please go to Facebook, go to Twitter, friend, and follow us over there. And if you need that information or any other information, Mark and Lowell, just go to markandlowell.com.
And if you want to get me on all the social medias, you can...
Excuse me. Double me.
And a special thanks to Lisa Runyon.
Hey, thanks. Check out my blog at themainidea.blogspot.com. That's MANE.
And thank you to Jonah Berger. And you can catch me at my SkypeSucks.com.
SkypeSucks.com.
And thank you to the keyboard player tonight, Dan Binstock. Which now, how are you going to switch to your usual setup? There it is. And I got everybody right, so a big shout out to Buzz Burbank, RJ Diaz, and everybody else who helps us out with this show. For Lowell Melser, I'm Mark Ronick. We will see you next time on the Mark and Lowell Show. Bye-bye.
You're the best. Woo! You're the best.
You know what I don't like about the new iPhone I have?
What's that?
I don't like that Siri is only reachable by pushing the button on the side. I like the front button.
You'll get used to it.
It's harder for my hands to push the side button.
Does he have the 10?
Yeah.
No, I won't get used to that. I've got Charcot-Marie tooth disorder, and that's not going away.
Yeah, but what about just saying, hey, Siri?
Can you do that?
Yeah.
Mark's phone just came on.
Hey, Siri. Shut the fuck up. That's awesome.
This is why Jonah does not deserve a 10.
iPhone 101.
Hey, Siri. Say now. That is awesome. Game changer. Mark class.
Every time.
All these times with my face getting clearer.
Happy
times with my bugs in the mirror. You know it's poo.
It's
Gotta make some do.
Gotta make some do. Come on. Pass the TP. Pass it for the year. Pass it for the bang. Then pass it for the tear. Give me 2-ply. Don't throw it in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kudos.